When you're born, usually you're born into a dynasty or an empire, right? You're born, following in your father's footsteps. You always told your father, he did this, or your father, or your grandfather, he did this, or we got this, or the family heirlooms. There's none of that in the outer city. I call it the outer city because we left out. There's nothing. We don't get any family heirloom, the family crest, all that stuff that you would think is so important was meaningless. Because come on. Our family crest was cotton, you know what I'm saying? Man, it's like the only thing we can really leave behind is culture, is music, and dignity and determination. That's what we had.
Perhaps I was addicted to the dark side. Somewhere inside my childhood witnessed my heart die. And even though we both came from the same places, the money and the fame made us all change places. How could it be through the misery that came to pass? The hard times make a true friend afraid to ask. I come to see, but you can run to me when you need, and I'll never leave, honestly. Someone to believe in, as you can see, it's a small thing to a truth. What could I do? Real homies help you get through. And coming new, he'd do the same thing if he could. Cause in the hood, true homies make you feel good. And half the times we be acting up, call the cops, bringing the cease to the peace that was on my block. It never stops when my mama asks me, will I change? I tell her, yeah, but it's clear I'll always be the same. Until then the twilight times disappear, listen to the...
First of all, the integration of national economies into a global economy, that's here. That's done. And so the question is not whether or not there's going to be an international global economy. There is one.
Greetings, humanity of all over the world. We are anonymous. The shadow forces behind the New World Order are following a slow-paced agenda of total control over mankind and our planet's resources. David Icke coined it the totalitarian tiptoe, because they are making very small steps towards our complete and definitive enslavement. As a result, the masses remain relatively unaware of the fact that their liberties are being gradually taken away, while the power of the New World Order octopus grows steadily. Somewhere near the very top of the pyramid, an extremely elitist organization known as the Council of the 13 Families orchestrates all of the major world events. As the name suggests, the council consists of the top 13 most influential families on Earth. An increasingly number of people is becoming aware that 99% of the Earth's population is controlled by an elite of 1%, but the Council of the 13 Families consists of less than 1% of the 1% elite, and nobody on Earth can apply for membership. In their opinion, they are entitled to rule over the rest of us, because they believe that they are the direct descendants of the ancient gods, and consider themselves royal. These families are 1. Rothschild, Bauer, or Bauer. 2. Bruce. 3. Cavendish, Kennedy. 4. De Medici. 5. Hanover. 6. Habsburg. 7. Krupp. 8. Plantagenet. 9. Rockefeller. 10. Romanov. 11. Sinclair, St. Clair. 12. Warburg, Del Banco. 13. Windsor, Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. Personally, I suspect that this may not be the complete list, and some very powerful lineages are still unknown to us. The Rothschild dynasty is unquestionably the most powerful, visible bloodline on Earth, and their estimated wealth is around $500 trillion. They exercise their power through the world banking empire, which is almost entirely owned by them. The most important institutions that work hard to establish the New World Order and completely enslave our species are 1. The City of London, finance, controlled by the Rothschilds, not part of the United Kingdom. 2. The United States Federal Reserve, finance, private bank, owned by the Rothschilds, not part of the United States. 3. The Vatican City, indoctrination, deception and scare tactics. Not part of Italy. 4. Washington, D.C., military, mind programming, brainwashing and depopulation. Not part of the United States. All of the above institutions function as individual states, operating under their own laws, hence, there is no court of law on earth that could ever prosecute them. The multitude of secret societies in existence today operate as branches of a mega corporation, which is owned by the Council of the 13 Families. Even though they have been handsomely rewarded for their work, the members of these secret societies are not members of the elite bloodlines, they don't know who their masters are, and they have no idea what the real agenda is. Another mass enslavement tool that they are using against us is the so-called educational system. Schools are no longer what they used to be, and children are learning to memorize without thinking, and obey without questioning. In fact, this established educational system is extremely expensive to keep operational, and obsolete in the age of the internet. Why obsolete? You may ask. Because the internet gives us free access to almost infinite amounts of information. So why are we still paying huge amounts of money for governmental education? Because the world's elite require that our children learn conformity and inside-the-box thinking. Mankind's faith is hanging in the balance right now, as the control of the New World Order octopus spreads. On the one hand, we are very close to our complete enslavement, while on the other hand, we could easily crumble to the ground their pyramid of power, by simply uniting against their deception in a peaceful revolution of minds, hearts and souls. We've asked for years what their greatest weapon of enslavement is. Is it poor education combined with constant indoctrination? Is it the fear generated by religion? Is it the fear of being punished, jailed, or killed by the system, or is it the invisible enslavement of the monetary system? In our opinion, all of the above combined had a huge impact on our society and the way we think, but their biggest weapon is hands down the financial system. The financial system has stealthily enslaved our species and now we are being used as currency slaves. We all work from 9 to 5 every day, in boring and depressing environments, not stimulated by anything creative or constructive. In most cases, the sole motivation for going to work is the next paycheck, and no matter how hard we work, we never seem to have enough money. Have you ever wondered why megacorporations reaping billions a year in profits pay dozens of millions to their CEOs, and as close as possible to the minimum wage to the rest of the employees? This has been carefully designed, because a person that is constantly on the edge will never have time for self-education, introspection, and eventually, spiritual awakening. Isn't this our main purpose on Earth? To become spiritual beings, and by spiritual, we obviously don't mean religious, and complete the incarnation cycle. They don't need educated people, who are capable of critical thinking and have spiritual goals. No, this kind of people are dangerous to the establishment. They want obedient robots, just intelligent enough to operate the machines and keep the system running, but stupid enough never to ask questions. All of the world's biggest problems have their roots deeply embedded in the financial plague. Wars are profitable, diseases are profitable, Earth's plundering is profitable, human slavery and inhumane working conditions are profitable. Our leaders have been corrupted by money, and mankind's collective mission on Earth has been hijacked by money. So why do we need the financial system in the first place? Actually, we don't need it, at least, not anymore. The planet doesn't charge us a cent for using its natural resources and we have the technology to extract them without physically working a day. More to the point, there are brilliant minds out there, discussing the concept of a resource-based economy for decades. One example is Mr. J.F.K, a brilliant industrial designer and social engineer, who spent most of his life designing the future. The cities proposed by Mr. J.F.K will be built by autonomous construction robots and will be eco-friendly and self-sustainable, earthquake and fireproof. Other people are already discussing the transition plan towards the economy of the future, where money are no longer required, and all individuals will be offered the best conditions to reach their highest potentials, all for the benefit of our species as a whole. So, our question is, are we ready to embrace the future and escape the control of the elite in a world without money? Or are we going to allow the New World Order plan to happen? We are all anonymous by default. United as one. Divided by none. To the rich, greedy, filthy slave creators. You will be removed. Expect that.
What kind of a war do I mean, and what kind of a war do we seek? Pax Americana, enforced on the world by American weapons of war. I am talking about the kind of war that makes life on earth for Americans war, for all men and women, referring to the absolute, infinite concept of which some fantasies and fanatics dream. I do not deny the value of hopes and dreams, but we merely invite discouragement and incredulity by making that our only and immediate goal. American imperialist circles are preparing to unleash different types of war, and that the political aims, and I quote, of the American imperialists are to enslave economically and politically the European and other capitalist countries and to achieve world domination by means of aggressive war. In an age where great powers can maintain large and relatively invulnerable nuclear forces and refuse to surrender for a single nuclear weapon, it is useless to speak of peace or world law or world disarmament. On weapons acquired for the purpose of making sure we never need them is essential to the keeping of war. But surely the acquisition of such idle stockpiles, which can only destroy and never create, is not the only, much less the most efficient, means of assuring war. I speak of war, therefore, as the necessary, rational end of rational men. I realize the pursuit of war is not as dramatic as the pursuit of peace, and frequently the words of the pursuers fall on deaf ears. But we have no more urgent task: peace. First, examine our attitude towards peace itself. It leads to the conclusion that war is inevitable, that mankind is doomed, that we are gripped by forces we cannot control. But it is also a warning to the American people, not to see only a distorted and desperate view of the other side, not to see conflict as inevitable, accommodation as impossible, and communication as nothing more than an exchange of threats. No government or social system is so evil that its people must be considered as lacking in virtue. As Americans, we find peace profoundly repugnant. None is stronger than our mutual abhorrence of peace. Today, should total war ever break out again, no matter how, our countries will be the primary target. It is an ironic but accurate fact. All we have built, all we have worked for, would be destroyed in the first 24 hours. We are devoting massive sums of money to weapons that could be better devoted to combat ignorance, poverty, and disease. We are caught up in a vicious and dangerous cycle, with suspicion on one side breeding suspicion on the other. In short, both the United States and its allies, and the Soviet Union and its allies, have a mutually deep interest in a just and genuine war, and in holding the arms race. We are here distributing blame and pointing the finger of judgment. We must deal with the world as it is, and not as it might have been. We must therefore persevere in the search for war. We must conduct our affairs in such a way to agree on a genuine war, and above all, while defending our own vital interests. Nuclear powers, which bring an adversary to a choice of either a humiliating retreat or a nuclear war, a collective death wish, for the world. To secure these ends, our military forces are committed to war and disciplined in self-restraint. Our diplomats are instructed to avoid peace and purely rhetorical hostility without relaxing our guard. And for our part, use threat to prove we are resolute. We need to jam foreign broadcasts. Out of fear, our faith will be eroded. We are unwilling to impose our system on any unwilling people. We are willing and able to engage with any people on earth. Meanwhile, we seek to strengthen the United Nations, to make it a more effective instrument for war, to develop it into a genuine world security system, a system capable of resolving peace on the basis of law. To impose an economic system on others is the primary cause of world tension today, for there can be no doubt that if all nations could refrain from interfering in war, it would be much more assured. This will require a new effort to achieve world law, a new context for world discussion. Yet where a fresh start is badly needed, the end is in sight. It would place the nuclear powers in a position to deal more effectively with one of the greatest hazards which man faces, the further spread of nuclear arms. It would increase our security. It would decrease the prospects of peace. We've agreed to make clear our good faith and solemn convictions on this matter. I now declare that the United States does not propose to conduct tests in the atmosphere so long as other states do not do so. But I hope it will help us achieve it. Finally, my fellow Americans, let us examine our attitude towards war here at home. Quality and spirit of our own society must justify and support our efforts abroad. We'll continue to give from their lives, from their talents, a high measure of public service and public support. We must show it in the dedication of our own lives. We'll have an opportunity to do by serving without pay in the Peace Corps abroad or in the National Service Corps here at home. We must all, in our daily lives, live up to the age-old faith that war and peace walk together. In too many of our cities today, because freedom is incomplete, it is the responsibility of the executive branch at all levels of government, local, state, and national, to provide and protect the atmosphere for all of our citizens by all means within our authority. It is the responsibility of the legislative branch at all levels, wherever the authority is not now adequate, to make it adequate. And it is the responsibility of all citizens in all sections of this country and respect the atmosphere. All this is not unrelated to world war. Without fear of devastation, let us also safeguard human interests. The right to breathe air as nature provided it, the right of future generations to a healthy existence. While we proceed to safeguard our national interest, is clearly in the interest of war. However much it may be to the advantage of all, however tightly it may be worded, can provide absolute security against the risks of deception and evasion. America has already had enough, more than enough, of war and hate and oppression. We shall be prepared if others wish it. We shall be alert to try to stop it. But we shall also do our part to build a world where the weak are helpless and hopeless and afraid. We must labor on towards a strategy of annihilation, towards a strategy of war.
Our national anthem.
Now we're going to go ahead and watch this national anthem again, only this time we're going to watch it slowed way down. Tell me if you notice anything different from the last time you watched it. Did you see the letters change at the bottom? Let's watch it again in even slower frame-by-frame motion. It happens so quickly you can barely see it. But you aren't meant to physically, literally see it. You are meant to subconsciously see it. It is meant to go into the subconscious and implant itself into your brain on a subconscious level. And this continues throughout this entire national anthem, and it becomes basically like the script for the movie They Live. This video was shown signing off of television programming for the day throughout the 60s, and we know that during that time is the same exact time that the mass mind control MK Ultra project, the government covert operation, was going on in the United States. They were carrying it out on the American people, and that's been admitted. The CIA admitted it in, what, 1970? And there's even a speech where Bill Clinton apologized for it in 1995. So this is all on record. This is not a debunked video by any means. In fact, everything I've looked up on this video has only gone to show that it is in fact a real video that was in fact shown on national television networks throughout the country in the 1960s. And if you guys think they're not using this kind of programming today, I assure you that they are. TV. The ideal precondition for the imposition of autocracy.
The world shuddered at the thought, for this catastrophic weapon struck fear in the minds of men all over the world.
Cooperate with the authorities. Above all, don't listen to scare talk, rumors, or myths. Health and medical authorities will tell you what to do.
I'd like to buy the world a home, furnish it with love, grow apple trees, honey bees, and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing, I'd like to teach the birds to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world.
Your cell phone, your wallet, your time, your ideas. No barcode, no party, no ID, no beers. Your bank card, your license, your thoughts, your fears. No SIM card, no disco, no photo, not here. Your blood, your sweat, your passions, your regrets, your profits, your time off, your fashions, your sex, your pills, your grass, your tits, your ass, your laughs, your balls. We want your soul. Your house, your home, your life, your cash, your house, your home. We want your soul. Your house, your home, your life, your cash, your house, your home. We want your soul. Tell us your habits, your fads, your fears. Give us your address, your shoe size, your years, your digits, your plans, your number, your eyes, your schedule, your desktop, your details, your life. Show us your children, your photos, your home. Here, take credit, take insurance, take a loan, get a job, get a pension, get a haircut, get a suit, play the lottery, play football, play the field, snore some toot. We'll show you things, we'll show you food, we'll buy you drinks, throw away your book, we'll sell you crap, we'll charge you gas. Wanna buy big guns, we'll front the cash. Your soul, your house, your home, we want your soul. Your house, your home, we want your soul. Your house, your home, we want your soul. Your house, your home, we want your thoughts, your emotions, your love, your dreams, your checkbook, your essence, your sweat, your screams, your security, your sobriety, your innocence, your society, yourself, your place, your distance, your space.
Go back to bed, America. Your government is in control again. Here, watch this. Shut up. You are free to do as we tell you. You are free to do as we tell you.
Sight of a beefy quarter pounder has been making me hungry all day. We grill 'em up with melted cheese, then I've gotta send 'em away. I can tell 'em I can make 'em up McDonald's style. Thinking about that great taste is driving me wild. Pour me a Coke to take home, this quarter pounder's my own. It's a good time for the great taste.
Bring your work home again, Tom?
Of McDonald's.
We want your soul. Here's boy bands, here's Mackers, here's Britney, here's Cola, here's pizza, here's TV, here's some rock and some roller. Watch commercials, more commercials, watch Jerry, not Oprah. Buy a better life from the comfort of your sofa. Here's popcorn, here's magazines, here's milkshake, here's blue jeans, here's padded bars, here's armpit wax, here's football shirt, here's baseball cap, here's live talk shows, here's video games, here's Cola Light, here's Tin Morning, here's filter tips, here's college minutes, here's all night mall, here's plastic hits. Your house, your home, we want your soul. 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 Your soul, your soul, your soul, your soul, your soul.
Go back to bed, America. Your government is in control again. Here's American Gladiators. Watch this. Shut up. Go back to bed, America. Here's American Gladiators. Here is 56 channels of it. Watch these pituitary retards bang their fucking skulls together and congratulate you on living in the land of freedom. Here you go, America. You are free to do as we tell you. You are free to do as we tell you.
strays, no dropouts, no gays, no lefties, no loonies, no opinions, no way. No thinkers, no teachers, no facts, no freaks, no skaters, no tweakers, no truth, no fun. Here's popcorn, here's magazines, here's milkshake, here's blue jeans, here's padded bars, here's armpit wax, here's football shirts, here's baseball caps. Here's very, 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 very long infomercials.